podcast recording. I have no thank you. Hello, no thank you.
Hello.
Hello. So inside number 9. What did you think of the show Inside Number 9?
Oh my god. It's good. It's a good show.
Yeah, it's a great show. It's a great show. It's given me too high expectations because I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna go back to watching my shitty soaps, and now I'm watching my shitty soaps, and I'm like, oh, when's the good part coming? And it just doesn't come.
It doesn't come because you're, for some strange reason, have just decided to watch something bad and pretend you're enjoying it.
Because I am enjoying it. It's just
Yeah, you're enjoying Arrow, sure.
it's like I'm watching Constantine right now, and that's better than Arrow. Not by much, but still. Like, it was fine before when I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna treat this as like background noise. I'm paying like attention to it a bit sometimes, and then I watched Inside Number 9, and I was like, oh, TV show's good? Question mark.
Yeah.
Yep. I.
For those of the audience members who don't know what Inside Number 9 is, do you want to give a quick rundown?
It's an anthology show that pretends to be a comedy when it's just not a comedy.
It's a comedy. You
It
just
has
don't
funny
understand
episodes.
British humor. British humor is when everything is really depressing and there's no jokes.
I mean, that's true. That's true. I mean,
No, British humor is a man and his dead mother dancing the cranking that soldier
yeah,
boy
that
together
was a
for
fucking
like
great
a minute
scene.
straight.
That was a
That's
great fucking
We'll
scene.
get onto that. There's an
Yeah.
episode where that happens. Remember, this aired on television in the UK. So, we both recommend it. So if you don't want spoilers, go watch the show. It's like 5 seasons. I don't remember, like 6 episodes per season or something.
Yep.
And it's definitely worth watching, I would say. Not every episode is amazing. But because it's an anthology show, it's not like, each episode. It's basically just a collection of really high quality, like, short films.
Yeah. And the gimmick in Inside Number 9 is that most episodes have a really like defining twist in them. Like that's kind of like the
Yeah.
that's the shtick. So if you don't want all the gimmicks spoiled, then I would
But
recommend.
they're well executed twists. Most of them.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
all
yeah.
of them are well executed, but almost all of them are well executed. Like, they're not just twists for the sake of twists. It's more like
It's
they fit the stories.
it's like every episode is like its own absurdist narrative, and then a twist happens, and it's like, oh, it's absurdist in a completely different way now.
Yeah.
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 It has a really Lynchian atmosphere all of the time.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that.
Yeah. So if you like Black Mirror, if you like Twin Peaks, and if you want to see something really good, watch Inside Number 9.
Yes.
Okay, the first episode, no thank you.
You're gonna have to remind me what happens.
Oh, it's a sardine surgery in the closet.
Oh, I actually really like this episode.
Yeah,
Like,
same.
even though it's the awkward comedy and it's like quite hard to deal with for me, like, I thought it was actually really funny. And the ending is fucking sick.
Yeah, like I think it really sets a tone for a series. But also, I'm looking at my dog because my dog's doing something weird right now. But yeah, like it only has like it doesn't have like misunderstandings really.
Yeah, it doesn't have misunderstandings. It's just
Yeah.
awkward.
Yeah,
It's really awkward,
yeah.
which is it's done well. It's quite funny.
Like the only part that I didn't really like was the entire like Stinky John arc.
I just found it funny because we kept saying the word stinky, and that alone is enough to make me laugh because I'm a child.
That's true. It just got really awkward, and everyone was trying to get rid of Stinky John.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, am I Stinky John? Am I the Stinky John of real life?
Okay, should we just spoil the twist?
We're gonna spoil every twist. We're gonna spoil it. We can't talk about Inside Number 9
Yeah.
without spoiling the twist.
Yeah, I mean, like immediately, should we just fucking rip the fucking twist? Like,
Yeah, well, let's go.
So the twist is that the fucking guy who
You have to
invented the
tell
game.
them. They're not. What is this? If you're telling
No, no,
them
no.
the guy who invented the game, they're not gonna know who that is unless they
Oh,
watch the episode.
oh
And if they
right, yeah.
watch the episode, they know what the twist is.
That's true. Okay, so talk about the premise of the game. No, thank you.
Basically, they're playing Sardines, which is a real game where it's like hide and seek, but instead of uh, in hide and seek, when you find someone, they join the seekers basically, or they're out of the game depending on what rules you're playing. But in Sardines, when you find someone, you have to go and hide in the same spot with them, and the idea is that eventually everyone ends up in the same spot, hiding together, and it's quite funny. Or not
Yeah.
in the same spot, but everyone ends up in these like tight spots, and it's kind of a stupid game. And the episode's kind of pointing out how stupid the game is because no one ever really wins, and it's
Yeah.
just awkward, especially if it's a bunch of adults with a weird family history and connections to each other playing together. It's very strange.
Yeah. So the guy who really was pushing for the game, right, was this old guy who was like the father of some people and the boss of other people, right? And turns out he just wanted to play the game to diddle children. That's a twist.
Yeah, that's not really the
I
twist.
mean,
The
that's not
twist
really the twist, but you know.
that's the first revelation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
the twist ending is that one of the guys who's like one of the first characters at the beginning of the episode was actually lying about who he was. He's actually a completely different person who's like who was diddled and wronged by the family, and he locks them all in their cupboard together and burns the whole thing down, so they all burn to death inside.
Yeah.
It's
And,
very epic.
and Stinky John is stinky because he was molested.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's a very funny show.
it's a very funny show. It's a
Yeah.
very humorous child molestation show.
Yeah. It's actually surprising how like the show never actually gets like that dark when it comes to just
The
like
show never gets that dark, keeping someone locked up as a rape slave in the
no, but like
basement.
I mean like
Um,
no. I mean like when the dark things happen, the generally just happen off screen, and like the show is about like the repercussions and the atmosphere of it all, which I
yeah,
really
I think that's a
appreciated.
good creative decision
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
things are better when they happen in your imagination. That's
Except in one episode, which is the worst episode of any show I've ever seen.
oh, we'll talk about that.
Uh, uh, so, review of Sardines. What would you give Sardines to? Thank you.
Are we doing number scores?
Are we
We
doing
just couldn't
number
think of anything
scores?
else to add on, so we're doing number scores now.
I mean, look, I'm a creative hack, you know. I've fallen off.
Do you know what we're gonna do instead of number scores? We're
Okay.
gonna make a list from best to worst.
I
So right now, sardines is on the top of our list.
okay.
And what I'm gonna do
I'm
is I'm
a.
gonna edit this comment. I'm gonna
Oh,
edit
oh,
this message as we go on.
no. I'm just gonna make a notepad file and put it on the screen.
Well, I'm gonna edit this message as we go on.
Okay,
So
just know
use
that
the
it may.
notepad file.
Just know that
I
it
don't
may.
care if it makes it into the final thing.
Yeah, but it makes sounds. That's what I'm trying to say.
Makes sounds.
Yeah, because element. I can't just turn the element sounds off.
You get a notification sound.
Yeah. I like
It
that.
doesn't matter if there's a fucking notification sound.
I know it doesn't matter, but it's really loud because you're kind of quiet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can I
No,
turn
it's
myself up?
it's
I don't
fine.
know how
Doesn't
to.
matter. This is. I don't know. Oh.
Next episode is. I actually know this one. It's a night in.
Yeah, it's a night.
It's the only episode that shows up twice.
Wait, what?
Interestingly enough,
Wait, what does it do?
it shows up twice
Wait, what?
because of the live episode.
The live episode?
Did you not see the live episode?
No, I didn't see the live episode.
You didn't see the live episode?
I didn't see the live
That's
episode.
like the best episode. It's like one of the best.
What's a live episode?
They did a on Halloween for a Halloween special. They did a live, like a completely live board. Do you know what? Pause the recording and go watch this video.
I wanna see it. I'm gonna watch it after.
Okay, whatever. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It doesn't matter. Basically, what happened is they they went on like a press tour around the UK saying like, yeah, we're gonna do a live episode of Inside Number 9
Oh
this
yeah,
Halloween.
I've heard of it actually. I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I've
then
seen the
they
video.
did their
Yeah.
live episode, and then they pretended that something went wrong with the sound, and then we're just gonna have to replay one of our old episodes because we're having technical problems, and then various things happen from there.
I've seen the video
It's
on
not
that
that
episode.
good. The actual episode itself is not that good, but the
Mhm.
idea, like, it's only good if you know the context behind it.
Yeah. I know exactly the video you're talking about, by the way.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
I just didn't know it was
All
connected
right,
to this
let's
show.
continue with a quiet night in.
Yeah, a dog dies in this episode, so for me,
So,
I'm really sensitive to
so it's
dogs dying.
based.
I'm really sensitive to dogs dying in media.
Says the person who recommended Aspercanager, where a woman kicks a dog
Look,
in the face within 5 minutes
the
with the
moment
longest
I
one.
the moment I read the chapter, I was like, oh, I don't like this woman anymore because she kicked the dog.
I read it and I was like, based.
Yeah, yeah. No, thank you. He's a sociopath as
I was like, he
always.
supports dog kicking
Yeah.
in media. The only reason I support it is because so many Reddit females are like, "Oh no, the dog, not the dog dies. What the dog doing? No." You know what I mean? Like they're
That's
like, man,
me.
he didn't have to kill. Like a serial killer can go around killing as many people as he wants, but as soon as he kills one dog, it's like, oh no, this man now he's unforgivable. Now he's truly evil, and it's also a really like soppy trope that Hollywood overuses, like kill the dog to make the villain seem more evil or to make the main character seem more sympathetic. It's just like an easy
Uh,
trope. So when Asperger like immediately disregarded that trope, that was where I was like, okay,
that's true.
this
No,
manga is good.
I like that it's a creative decision. Like, I'm not saying like I think
Yeah,
they shouldn't have done it. It's just like that's one of the.
this is not Asperger podcast.
No, this is not Aspergirl podcast. Let's talk about Aspergirl chapter by chapter. Okay, anyway, Quiet
Okay.
Night In, no thank you. I mean, we
The
could just
gimmick
do
of
that.
this episode, of course, is that there's no dialogue until the
Yeah,
very end. There's almost no dialogue.
yeah. It's a really fucking great episode too.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
I mean, it's not one of the better ones in my opinion. It just doesn't have like that impact. But like
Yeah,
it has a really cool gimmick to me.
yeah, the gimmick is cool. It's interesting that they pulled out such a um, oh, like a they got it out like normally that seems like something that one would do like later on,
Yeah,
in a show's lifetime.
yeah,
But
but
this is the second episode.
that wouldn't have worked later on in my opinion. Like it mostly works on just like by just establishing what the show is about. You know, like it's like this
Mm.
show can just go balls to the fucking wall. You know.
Yeah, exactly. It
Yeah.
shows that it can do experimental stuff, and it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be super realistic. Because like Sardines is relatively realistic, whereas this one is quite cartoony.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's also pretty funny.
It's a really funny episode, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that house is cool. There's a lot of great. I mean, obviously, since there's no dialogue, there's a lot of good like sight gags.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, there's the one with the fucking blow up doll. I like that
yeah,
one.
that's funny.
Yeah.
There's the one with like right at the beginning of the episode opens right with the guy like he's sitting with his back to a big glass window and he's eating some tomato soup, and then like the lights in the garden flash on and you see two like stereotypical thief guys like sneaking up on him, and then they see the light go on, they freeze, and then the light turns off and then it turns on again and they're in a different position. It's very funny.
Yeah, like the show is really based on like theater very often, where it's like it's more
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
play than a show, and like that
A
does.
lot of the episodes really could be plays more than shows.
Yeah, like this.
Like a
This is
lot
one
of
of them, in my opinion.
Yeah, because it's like so presumably quite low budget. A lot of the episodes are like one room short films sort of
Yeah.
thing, where everything takes place in one room, and so it's like, yeah, it could basically be a play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought this episode was pretty good. I give it a. I'd put it as below Sardines though. I don't think it's the greatest episode.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Like I don't think it's quite as good as Sardines, but it's quite close to it, in my opinion. The next episode is Tom and Jerry, the one with the hobo.
The one with the hobo that no one else can see except everyone can see him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Turns out.
The twist is that the woman is the hallucination, not the hobo.
See, this is the first of the I suppose you could call them red herrings in the red herring twists, where the show from the very beginning is trying to get you to think that the twist is going to be one thing, but then you as an audience member, you think, aha, I figured it out, but actually that was a red herring and the twist is something else. So like right at the beginning of the episode, when he first sees the homeless guy, his girlfriend is like, oh really, I don't see anything. And so as soon as she said that, I was like, oh, he's not going to be real, is he? But then as the episode goes on, there's more and more evidence to point to like, oh, he's not going to be real. And then it's like, they're making this too obvious. So maybe that's not the case. And then when the actual twist come that he is real, both you and the main character have both been duped into thinking that he's the one that's not going to be real. And so you relate more to the main. It's good. Well, it makes the twist work very well. I also like the line, what was it? You're not fucking Charles Bukowski, I think was the line from that episode.
Yeah. Oh, I really liked I liked episodes that are like social commentaries because I think the show kind of executes them like way better than most shows would.
Yeah, I like the social commentary in this episode, which is you should never help the homeless.
No, the social commentary. I mean, I don't even. There's a. There's it's not coherent. That's what makes it good. Like it's not fucking going like, hey, here's the issue that you should care about. It's like, oh, here's just some things that happen, and here are people's reactions and attitudes to various things. And I think that's like way better than just being like, oh, this is a social issue.
It's more about mental illness than anything else.
Actually. Yeah, I'd agree. Like the plot of the show, or this episode, is that this guy finds a homeless guy. The homeless guy just kind of leeches off of him, makes his entire life into a mess, and his
basically reverse roles. So over the course of the episode, the homeless guy becomes more and more clean cut and dependable, and he goes eventually and gets a haircut. At the start of the episode, he looks like a very typical homeless guy, and then by the end of the episode, he looks like a very clean cut regular guy, while the main character does the opposite. At the start of the episode, he looks like a regular guy and he's like a primary school teacher or whatever, and by the end of the episode he's lost his job and he's like an alcoholic and he's got like a messy beard and messy hair and all that sort of shit. He looks like a NEET.
Yeah. And yeah.
And the twist at the end is that he's killed the homeless guy.
Yeah, because throughout the episode there's the girlfriend character, and you never see the girlfriend character and the homeless character together, and it turns out that the girlfriend died a long time ago, and the guy just hallucinated the girlfriend and killed the homeless guy, basically.
Yeah. It's implied that he's had previous mental health problems.
Yeah.
Also, this is the first appearance, or no, it's not. The first episode has it too. But this is the second appearance of a common trope throughout all of the Inside Number 9 episodes, which is the flamboyant gay best friend character.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a running trope. I think one of the writers is just like, I don't know if I'm pretty sure one of the writers is gay. They might both be gay. I don't know.
Yeah, there are a lot of
they
gay
clearly
best
just
friends.
like playing that character because it's always the same guy. That character.
Yeah. The recurring actors kind of started eventually wearing on me because I was like, oh, because I don't.
Well, the recurring actors are the writers, the two guys. They're the two.
Are they?
Yeah.
Aren't there like more than two recurring?
There are more than two people who return, but the two that are in every episode are the people.
Wait, are they in every episode?
They're in every episode, yeah.
Oh damn! I didn't notice it.
They often wear makeup and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're in every episode.
I eventually started just being confused when I saw the face because I was like, wait, I saw this character before, and because I have really bad memory for faces.
Yeah. Anyway, where would you put this episode? We can't be going this slow. We have like 50 episodes together.
Look, we can go as slow as you want. I mean, I'll put this episode probably between Sardines and A Quiet Night in.
Yeah, sure, that seems reasonable to me.
Yeah, like it's not quite as good as sardines, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's it called? Tom and Jerry.
yeah, Tom and Jerry.
Okay. Next.
So last gasp, the one with the celebrity and the balloon.
I hate this episode.
Yeah, it wasn't that good.
Yeah, I'm putting
Yeah.
this right at the bottom of the list.
So
This episode is a Make-A-Wish Foundation. Some celebrity comes over to a dying kid's home, except the kid doesn't seem to really give a shit about him, and it's the mum who's really a big fan. And then he just has a heart attack and dies. But he dies while puffing up a balloon for the kid. And so they have this balloon, and they've basically captured this celebrity's last breath, and then everything falls apart as people sort of fight over who's gets to keep his last breath, because it would probably be worth thousands on eBay or whatever, because
yeah.
it's literally this famous guy's last breath. And like they go through all sorts of schemes, they're arguing about who should get to keep it, and then the twist at the end, the little sick wheelchair bound girl just takes the balloon and releases it up into the sky, and it floats away, which is barely even a twist, really.
I mean, the twist is that the guy was alive, and they have to kill him again.
Oh yeah, but that's
Yeah.
not really. But normally the
Yeah,
twist, like
that's
that's not
true.
at the end of the episode. That's like
Yeah.
two-thirds. That's like the lowest point, end of Act 2 type of
Yeah,
moment.
like I like the recurring theme that like just someone being alive is inconvenient and the entire ordeal is like I like the narrative where it's like, oh, we have made all of these plans about someone being alive or dead, and then that doesn't seem to be true. So what do we do about that? Like
Yeah.
I think the show plays with that like recurring
Yeah.
thing.
The comedy comes from viewing human life as just like an inconvenience.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's funny.
Yeah.
But overall, this episode's kind of boring because it's
Yep.
mostly just people arguing about a balloon.
Yep.
And the social commentary of like, look at these crazy people who spend loads of money on celebrities' hair and stuff is just not particularly interesting or poignant.
Yep. Okay, the understudy. I think we might disagree on this one.
I liked this episode a lot.
Okay, I liked it. I liked it a lot. Okay, we don't disagree. I thought you wouldn't.
I actually put it above Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
In fact, it might even be top of the list.
I don't. It might be better than Sardines.
I'm a bit of a Shakespeare fag, so that was.
That's fair. That's fair. Like for me personally, like the understudy is good, but it's just the ending isn't as strong as like the other ones generally tend to be. Like it's kind of.
Yeah, the ending kind of came out of nowhere. Like it wasn't foreshadowed that well.
Yeah,
I mean, it was foreshadowed all right, but yeah.
It was just kind of like an exposition dump, and then like.
Yeah, it was a bit of an exposition dump. So yeah, you're right. Actually, I shouldn't put it.
Like the actual episode is fucking great. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
The plot of the episode is that there's a guy who's an understudy of a famous Shakespearean actor who's playing Macbeth, and his girlfriend's trying to convince him to, really push himself and try and get the part as the main actor and not just an understudy. And he's kind of timid about it. And then, lo and behold, the main actor, who used to be an alcoholic, somehow gets drunk, fucks up, gets like pissed, fucks up on stage, and then falls over on stage and becomes paralyzed. And there's no choice but for the understudy guy to go on stage, and then it cuts time skips to like a few years later or whatever, and he's now the famous Shakespearean, like now the understudy is a famous, well-known Shakespearean actor playing Macbeth. And
I think it's a year and a half later.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's basically the plot of the episode. You're led. It's another red herring thing where you're led to believe that the girlfriend is the one because the girlfriend's encouraging him, like really trying to push him, like to go on stage, whereas he's kind of timid. So you think the girlfriend is the one who put the alcohol, like slipped him alcohol to get him drunk. But it turns out that she didn't, and she killed herself for some reason.
Because he was distant or something.
Because he was distant, bit of an overreaction.
Yeah, tad bit.
I mean, he's just following good advice. Chase a check, never chase a bitch.
Yep.
And it turns out it was this other random woman who just was in love with him the whole time, apparently, which isn't set up at all.
Yep. I like the commentaries like goes sometimes hierarchy bad. That's a commentary.
But really, the good thing about this episode is not the plot.
Yeah,
It's the character dynamics and like the environment of like backstage at a super competitive theater company.
yeah.
That's what's really good about it.
Like all the shows are best for their atmosphere, not the actual plot. In my opinion.
Yeah, pretty much. Most of them are. I mean, there's sometimes when the twist is just so good that it makes
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
but
that's
most
true.
of the time uh, the twist is just sort of an added little thing, and it's the character dynamics that are the interesting thing, and the setting and the dialogue that's particularly good.
Speaking of all the interesting things, the episode that had none of them. The finale of the fucking first season, the harrowing is awful. It's garbage.
Yeah, we'll put that at the bottom.
Yeah,
Oh, I
yeah,
forgot. Oh no, never mind. The harrowing.
yeah.
So those might think this is the worst thing ever made. I just think it was like kind of. I thought it was bad, but I didn't hate it. I think it's probably the worst episode, but it's not. I'm not as insulted by it as Dotes is.
It just doesn't have any redeemable qualities.
Um,
There's nothing in it that would be good, you know.
I thought there were some kind of neat concepts, like
Like what?
okay, here's something good. The chairlift thing. I thought that was actually a really clever horror concept.
Wait, what
So there's a
chairlift?
chairlift. There's a
Oh,
chairlift
yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
the staircase, and they send it up earlier as a sort of joke.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's a Chekhov's gun moment because then it pays off later when they're saying like, you know, they're just arguing in front of the stairs, and then suddenly you hear the sound of the chairlift going back down, even though the person who lives upstairs isn't supposed to be able to move from their bed. So who sent the chairlift back down? And it's a pretty great spooky atmospheric moment. I thought that was actually really well done, and
Oh,
it
that was
set up
fine.
perfectly, paid off perfectly. Yeah,
Yeah, that
it's
was
not
fine.
like a genius moment, but it's just good basic horror writing.
Okay, yeah, that's one redeemable moment. It's just like the fucking ending is like, oh, are these guys evil or are they just misguided or are they demonically possessed or whatever the fuck? And it's just fucking boring. And then the actual monster is just a guy in a diaper who's been neglected. And it's like
Yeah,
it's fucking awful. It's garbage, garbage.
yeah,
Yeah,
Garbaggio.
garbage. Yeah. That's a bad
Basically,
episode.
in my opinion, the last third of the episode is just irredeemable, but the first two thirds are like, yeah, they're just
I mean, there's
fine.
setups that
So
don't
overall,
pay off. Like they don't even have a pretense of paying off. They're just fucking. It's all red herrings, and none of them mean anything. Like,
what?
like oh, my mom said this guy was born inside out, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll get to see something really cool. No, it's just a guy in a diaper, and they go
They
like,
pay some of the setup stuff. They say, like, for example, they when she first goes in the house, it's like, oh, we have to keep the house at 3 degrees centigrade at all times. And I was like, oh, that's an interesting idea. And then it pays off because it's like, oh, in Dante's Inferno, hell is like really cold, and so of course a demon would
that's
have to be kept in a cold environment. I thought,
that's
you know,
that's
that's a
not
payoff.
even. It's a literary illusion that isn't even true. Only the most bottom layer of hell is cold in Dante's Inferno. The other layers are hot.
Well, yeah, but that's the idea, at least behind
Yeah,
it.
it's
But anyway, it's
false.
not. Listen, I'm not. This is again this weird dynamic where I'm not trying to say the episode is good. I just don't. I don't think it was bad. I just don't think it was as bad as you say it is.
It just didn't. It just set up so many things that would have been cool, and then it goes like, oh, guess we're
I
not doing
agree.
any of them. I,
Yeah, I agree. And there's some stuff that wasn't particularly well set up.
like to me, they had to
But yeah. So
deliberately
anyway,
make it bad.
yeah, like
Uh,
oh, the goth girl that was with her. Turns out they were all working together because they go
yeah,
to the same church, which I
yeah.
suppose is supposed to mean they're like in the same demonic sect or whatever. It's a bit silly.
It's very silly. Okay, season 2, La Couchette.
This is one of my favorite episodes.
It's a great episode. I agree.
I like it mostly because I relate a lot to the characters.
I mean,
Because if you're not aware of the Yes Thank You and the 12 Drillers story arc that's happening right now, I'm being woken up at 9 o'clock every day by people doing construction work on all sides of my bedroom. And basically, this story is about a guy who keeps getting woken up when he's trying to sleep. I thought that was
Yeah.
relatable for me. And it's fun. All the characters in the carriage are funny, except
Yeah.
for Jack Whitehall, who's like the worst British comedian.
Who the
But
fuck is Jack Whitehall?
he's the posh guy in the he's the posh guy who holds the he's making out with the Australian girl,
Oh.
and he's
Yeah.
like the comedy relief character basically.
Oh yeah.
He's a comedian. He's a really terrible comedian.
Yeah.
I don't know how he keeps getting work because he's just not funny.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main bad thing about this episode is that he's in it. That you can basically forget about his character. He's pretty unimportant.
It's another one of the episodes where the twist isn't interesting too.
Yeah, the twist isn't particularly. I mean, the twist is like mildly funny more than surprising.
I would put it above Sardines.
Yeah, I put it above Sardines too.
Yeah.
I like the setting. Like doing an entire story that takes place in a tiny train carriage is really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I like, all of the characters have an interesting dynamic. Like they all have their own motivations and stuff. There's some really funny moments with the corpse.
Yeah.
And well, there's just a bunch of funny moments anyway.
Yep. The 12 Days of Christine, one of the classic ones in my opinion, one of the really good ones.
Which one's this one again?
The memory car accident one.
Really? I thought that was in our later series. Yeah, that one's really good.
I think that's just one of the better ones. I think it's above all of the ones we have right now.
I agree.
Yeah. It's just like a fucking surrealist thing about memory, and it's executed really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see the twist coming? Because I saw it coming.
Which part?
So, like, I knew the whole thing was a flashback.
I mean, I kind of saw it coming. I didn't. I wasn't really like thinking about it. I was like, yeah, this.
But it's really spoopy at certain points.
Yeah.
There's some really scary moments in that episode. Like, I think it's the first properly like one where I was actually scared at one of these episodes.
I don't think I was ever scared. I mean, I was kind of scared sometimes.
It's not like terrifying movie scary, but there were moments that scared me. Like they're not really jump scares, but they're like basically bits of reality bleeding into her flashback. And like it's pretty scary to me at least.
Yeah.
It was like pretty freaky. Scary is not really the right word, but freaky deaky.
Yeah, it was very freaky dick and it was cool. It's a good episode.
Stuff about dementia, stuff about like loneliness and divorce, childhood to childbirth.
Yep.
A racist Asian stereotype.
Wait, what was the racist Asian stereotype?
Her roommate.
I think she was just autistic.
Yeah, but it's like, oh, she's the only Asian character in the show so far, and she's a math student who's like super, autistically good at math but doesn't understand social cues.
No, thank you. That might be.
Listen, I'm okay with the racist Asian stereotype. It counterbalances all the, well.
Yeah, you know.
Also, I need to piss really bad, so
okay.
Just discuss something. So,
welcome to Young Toad's Mates discussion hour. No, thank you is pissing my dog. My dog has some type of thing anyway. She just pissed on the carpet a tiny bit, so I have to wash it tomorrow. And like my carpets are coming apart from how often I'm washing them because my dog keeps peeing on them. That's my life. Today I didn't eat anything other than this one ice cream. That happened today. And I didn't think I'll eat anything later because yesterday night I had a meal and then I woke up, I was like, oh, I'm still full. But then I was like, oh, I want to try this really sweet ice cream that I haven't had in a long time. And it was like, oh, this is disgustingly sweet. How did I ever consume this? And I'm like, yeah, you know. Yeah. So I had this ice cream and the Dr. Pepper. That's all I've eaten today. Which, you know, isn't really good for me because it's really sweet. But yeah, you know, it's how it is. And yeah, that's all I did today. I was afraid that someone might come to my house because my mom said that someone could. But that seemingly hasn't happened yet, so I don't think it will happen. So that's really nice. I get to do this podcast with my good friend No Thank You about Inside Number 9, a really good show. And I've gone 35 and 30 minutes without playing RuneScape. That's an odd phenomenon, that doesn't happen very often. But right now, since I'm discussing this show, I don't want to have that lack of attention that RuneScape often brings on with it, because I would just get really overstimulated, so... You know how it is. And, yeah. What else have I been doing? What else do I have to talk about? I actually haven't been doing anything. I made the love go, if you haven't already, go to tcrs.xyz, obligatory self-promo. We have a new copyright notice on there, which isn't a copyright notice. It's someone who shall be anonymous, because I don't know if they want to be known, sent me like a copyright... Oh no, thank you, Spec. Anyway, but yeah, I modified that and now I have a copyright notice on my fucking TCRS, which isn't a copyright notice because, you know, young, thank you. I don't fuck with copyright.
I'm back. Wait, what I thought was I don't fuck with copyright.
Yeah, I said I don't fuck. I was just rambling for like 3 minutes or something.
Okay. I assume you haven't moved on to the next episode.
No, I haven't. That was another fairly bad one. It's a trial of...
What I like so much about 12 Days of Christine is it shows how well this show can like bounce between comedy and drama, because it's a really serious dramatic story. Like even beyond being a horror, it's only like a little spooky, but more than anything, it's like a serious drama.
Yeah.
Whereas like La Couchette is like pretty funny. Sardines is pretty much a comedy the whole way through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, next episode.
That's the trial of Elizabeth Gage. That's a bad one.
See, that one's a straight up comedy, and I thought it was quite funny.
I mean, it was quite funny. It wasn't really that interesting to me. Like, it's not horrible.
Yeah, it wasn't. I wouldn't say it was a bad one. I'd say it's like an average 5 out of 10 one.
I mean, 5 out of 10 is bad for a show, too. In my opinion.
That's true. It was funny. I thought it was funny.
I mean, it was
funny.
Yeah, it had some good moments, but like to me, it's just like, I don't know. It was just ultimate, like, whatever.
Where would you put it? I would put it.
I would put
just below Quiet Light.
Yeah, same. I agree. Then we just agree on all of these.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's it called?
The Trial of Elizabeth Gage.
Trial of Elizabeth Gage.
Yeah.
Alright, epic.
Yeah, that's a witch trial. It's boring.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a witch trial for someone who's like clearly innocent, and then one of the witch trialers just like they've come in, like one of them's come in and he just like clearly is just gonna find her guilty no matter what, and the other guy's kind of on the fence. He's like, we probably shouldn't be just finding people guilty for no reason, but I'm just gonna go along with you because otherwise you'll try me as a witch and I'll be killed. So
yeah, and the third guy is just very sexually frustrated.
Yeah. That's actually funny as fuck.
That is funny as fuck.
There's a really funny joke when they have this like a torture tool that like expands. You put it up the anus and it expands. Yeah. And one of the guys is like, "This will cause hours of," and then he interjects. He's like, "Ecstasy, no suffering."
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. It's quite funny.
Yeah.
And then later on, it like falls out. Like he stands up and it's very fun. Maybe we should move this above A Quiet Night. Yeah.
I don't think like it has its moments like it has higher highs than A Quiet Night in, but it's like it has other funny gag too, which is like where the guy's like, where this guy's like, describe the licking of the arse or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, that's funny.
Well, like, the
Um,
rest of it isn't really that funny, you know?
the ending is quite satisfying, even though it's pretty obvious what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Um, A Quiet Night In has some pretty funny gags too, though. Like
I
when he
think
opens the
it's
cupboard and he opens the cupboard and the girl's just in there dead, and he's just like shrugs and then turns and closes. It's pretty fun.
yeah, and I really like the deaf guy cleaning gags.
Oh
Like all
yeah,
of
that's
them.
funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well let's move on.
Yep. Cold Comfort, the one with the hotline.
Oh, I love this episode.
I wouldn't say I love this episode. I think it's good.
I like it. Well, okay, I like it a lot because it's inventive. Like it's all told through security cameras or like
Yeah,
web
no,
cameras.
I like all the parts where like the security cameras interact. Okay,
Yeah,
like,
that's really cool. I like the story. Like I just think it's a clever story. It's
yeah, I
well
agree.
told.
I agree.
Um, yeah, I don't know. It's pretty good. I'd put it maybe above Sardines.
I would put it above La Couchette actually.
I wouldn't put it above La Couchette. I'd put it above Sard. I found La Couchette a bit more endearing just because of the
That's
characters.
true.
Like
That's true.
there wasn't any the characters. Only
Yeah,
the
I agree. I agree
to
actually.
me the main character was. Oh, but the ending is really good.
The ending, like I like the ending camera work. Like I don't think the
Yeah.
ending was.
I
I
mean,
mean,
it was just an epic shock. Like it wasn't particularly.
that's true. That's
meaningful or
true.
anything. It
Yeah.
was just like you don't see it coming, and then you're like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
I
Actually, I think it's above La Couchette. Like I
you
think,
it's about like that?
like I think the grandma plot like really fucking elevates it above La
Yeah,
Couchette. Like that entire plotline being actually really satisfying. I think makes the
that's
episode
true.
really good. Because like you get to see it develop throughout the entire thing in the background, and they're just like, oh, this is like a metaphor for the repercussions, and then it's just a metaphor for the
Yeah.
repercussions, but better. You know. Yeah.
It is good. However, the only reason I wouldn't put it above Le Couchette is because uh, all of the characters in La Couchette are very endearing and iconic in some sense. Like they all, well,
Yeah.
not iconic, but like they all have some. They're stronger basically to me than the characters in this one. Like,
That's
some
true.
of the
That's true.
characters are kind of decent, but like um, the characters in Le Couchette, like they all have really strong motivations. They're
Yeah.
all funny and like individual, and they have a really interesting dynamic.
Like my issue with La Couchette is it's like it relies too much on like really obvious things to me. Like very often, like it's like oh, this guy's smelly.
That's true. It does rely. It does rely on very obvious things.
Like,
I like it because it kind of reminds me of Murder on the Orient Express, which is a great book.
yeah, that is a great.
But
And I've
you
read
know
the
what?
book.
I'm okay with putting it. Okay, I'm okay. I'm okay with putting it above like Couchette. What's it called
Yeah.
again?
Cold Comfort.
Cold Comfort.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Yep.
Thank God we got over our talking about every episode for 10 years.
I mean, we're still talking about every episode for 10 years.
Let's keep going.
Nana's party. This one reminds me of my real life.
Worst. This is the worst episode in the entire
It's not as
series.
bad as the herring. It's the
I'm
second
putting
worst.
it just. I'll put it just above the harrowing one.
Yeah.
Nana's party.
Yeah, it's very bad.
It's not funny. All the characters
Yep.
are boring, and
Yep.
the twist isn't that epic at all.
Yep.
It's just kind of cringe.
Yep.
It
Like my
doesn't-
real life with my own family.
Yeah.
This is the suffering I have to endure. No, thank you.
I did like the alcoholic character.
Yeah, she was cool.
She was cool, but other than that, I don't think like it's just boring, really.
That's yeah.
Like it's not that funny to keep you entertained, but it's not. Well, it's also not that dramatic, and it's like, you know,
That's just a nothing episode, really.
yeah, it's just a nothing episode.
Yeah. Science time. The one with the science.
Although it is, I think, the first episode that has the where it ends with the beginning is the end. So it begins with like the the ending of the episode then flashes back. Is it the first
Wait,
episode that does
wait.
that?
Does it begin with the ending of the
It
episode?
begins. It begins with the paramedic walking in and saying
Oh,
like,
right. I mean, that's at the end
"Oh,
of the
there's."
episode.
So then, well, it's not quite, but you know what I mean. So
Uh,
it's like, and then it's like, so you spend the whole. The idea is you're spending the whole episode. There's a bunch of like fake outs
yeah,
where
yeah,
it's like, oh shit, what's going on to make a paramedic have to come really quickly? And it's like, and he says like, oh, this is one of the most horrible scenes I've ever seen, or something. Like, it's like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? There's a bunch of fake outs where like someone almost gets horribly injured, but then doesn't quite, and then
yeah.
and then it pays
That
off
was
at
cool.
the end where the paramedic is just a male stripper.
Yeah, I like that part actually.
That was kind of funny, but
Yeah.
I still don't think it was a very entertaining episode.
No, it
compared to-
wasn't. It wasn't at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Saiyans time.
I loved the first half of this episode and didn't care about the second half of this episode.
Yep, I agree.
The horror wasn't that scary
Yep.
in it in the second half, but in the first half it was scary. The idea of like a candid camera thing, that's quite funny and epic, and like the behind the scenes of like a candid camera show was quite interesting concept.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who keeps being called a dwarf, even though he's just a slightly short guy, that was pretty funny.
That was great.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say about it. What do you think?
I like the part where there was an actual spirit involved. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
The backstory is kind of cool, actually.
Yeah,
like all
yeah.
the sort of stuff you learn as the episode goes on about the characters, like, yeah, I think that's actually pretty well done.
Yeah.
I'd put it.
I'd put below a
maybe
Quiet Night
above
in.
Tom and Jerry. Below a Quiet Night in.
I think a
Oh,
Quiet
yeah, I
Night.
suppose some of it wasn't that good. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're right. I think you're right.
Uh,
Maybe above Quiet Night in.
yeah, I think that would make more sense. Yeah.
Seance. Alright.
Yep.
Next up.
The Devil of Christmas.
Oh, this is the one that's like a fake movie commentary, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I thought. This is a weird one. Because it's kind of a unique episode.
Like, if it was just a movie, right, it would have been, like, really endearing in a weird way, right? And then the commentary really adds to it too, but it's just like, when those things meet at the end, it just kind of makes both of them just seem like, oh, that is kind of pointless, you know?
Oh, it's a snuff film.
Yeah. Like, it would have been really cool to be like, oh, this weird low-budget film has a weird backstory, and it's like, that's like being set up in the entire time, right? Where you have, like, the director commentating it and, like, telling you, like, the cinematic techniques, and then it's just like, oh, this woman just gets killed at the end, and it's like, oh.
And then it turns out that it's a police interview, not a director's commentary at the
Yeah.
very end. That's kind of it's a neat concept, and I actually felt like I thought that the satire of that sort of film was actually really well done.
Yeah, I also agree, but, like, I know, like, I was expecting it to be like, oh, this is like a cult film that's like in some circles like really renowned, and I think that would have just been really cool if it was executed better.
Yeah. I think like what I thought was going to happen at the beginning was I thought it was going to be like a film about like a horror film, but then it turns out actual supernatural events are happening on set, and they would notice them as they were playing back the film.
Yeah, same.
That didn't turn out to be what it was.
Yeah.
I think they. I don't know.
Like, it's surprising, but it's not really interesting, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of boring, and it makes you think. It makes you question a lot of stuff. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know if you've ever seen a snuff film, but they're not like that.
Yeah.
They tend to be. They tend to really like the snuff part and not just be a regular movie with a bit of murder at the end.
It's like fucking. We're just killing actresses. Apparently, it's just I don't know.
Yeah. Although it was a fun concept, but the execution could have been done better.
I agree. I think it's above the Trial of Elizabeth Catch.
I would have put it below the Trial of Elizabeth Gadge, but I'm okay with putting it above.
Let's wait above then, I guess.
Devil of Christmas.
The bill. The one with the bill.
Oh, I really like this one.
I also like that one. It's
The
it's
twist is really good.
it's I
It's similar to La Couchette, in my opinion, in that it's just the character dynamics
yeah
that make
yeah
it work so well.
I I don't know what about it. Like the plot of the episode is that there's a bill, right, and the characters are figuring out how to split the bill, and then over the course of the episode you have like all of these like small character interactions revealed, right, and you have like this entire history of these characters laid out, and then it turns out they were just fucking doing a scam, and
Yeah,
it's
like the
really
whole thing. It's like it's a really elaborate like story where like slowly more and more details are revealed, and those allow them to like. So at first they're just like verbally arguing over the bill, and then like over the course of it they get more and more aggressive to each other until they're bringing up like more and more personal shit until eventually they're like, fuck it, we're gonna have a fucking face off playing Five Finger Fillet to see who's gonna pay this bill. And oh no, while I was playing Five Finger Fillet, I accidentally killed the
no
waitress.
no 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 what
Now we have
happened
to.
what happened is that the guy was like starting to really hurt himself, so the Mark started to like fucking grab the knife away, and by grabbing the knife again he killed the waitress accidentally.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he would feel responsible.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
And so then the waitress, who's just been like a character, who the main, like one of the people is just always making sexual remarks at her and stuff, like, and she's just lying on the floor dying, and then one of the guys who went to prison is like, I know some guys from prison who will clean this up, but we need to pay them $200,000. Can you wire us 200,000? Like and then it becomes a like parallel of, oh, when it's something really serious, they can very quickly decide who's going to split the bill. And
Yeah.
then everything, so it seems like that's the twist, is that they killed the waitress is going to be the twist.
Mhm.
But then the guy who's about to wire them $200,000 steps on the waitress's hand, and she goes beep, and then everyone's like, oh, for fuck's sake. And it turns out the entire thing was fake, all to scam this rich guy.
The twist at the
trying to, like,
end, like the real end, was fucking garbage though. But that didn't really
yeah,
matter.
no, the twist of the real end was garbage. We
Yeah.
just pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah,
But
it doesn't matter at all. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty
Yeah.
funny.
I would
The
put
only thing I thought was a bit ridiculous about it is that they lock him in the room, right?
yeah.
Like, they lock him in the restaurant, and they're like, "You got to pay up, man." And it's just a bunch of like balding middle-aged men versus this kind of built like Cockney guy. Who's gonna win in that fight?
That's true. That's true.
He has a pretty reasonable chance of taking them on.
Yeah.
It makes it seem like he's dead. He has no choice, but he could have probably escaped that building if he really needed to.
Yeah. Yeah, I would put above 13s.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty reasonable place to put it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good episode. The riddle.
Well, that's what it's called, right?
Yeah, yeah. The Riddle of the Sphinx. That was a fucking amazing one.
This might be my favorite episode.
I don't know if that's my favorite episode.
It's one of my favorites for sure.
I
The story has all these twists and turns in it. Like, it's not just one big twist at the end. There's like a bunch of little twists, all of them like building upon the story, building character, building backstory. It's super interesting. The setting is super interesting. Like the idea of like an elite crossword underworld, but like played seriously, not as a joke. I mean, it's a bit of a joke, but it like is semi-serious. But like by the end of the episode, it's serious. Like, that's a really cool concept too.
Yeah, I think that might be my favorite episode too.
And the characters are also cool.
Yeah. Just the fucking intricacy of the fucking plot on all sides is fucking insane. There's like all the individual steps are like, oh, these are reasonable steps that someone could do with this information, right? But then it just spirals out of the fucking realm of possibility, and that's really cool.
Yeah, it's kind of, but it's explained because all of the characters are like high up
Yeah.
academics who are like supposedly very intelligent and capable
Hmm.
of doing these sort of things.
Yeah. And like it's really contrasted by the characters just being fucking retarded.
Yeah, but like when it comes to emotional issues, they're retarded just like everyone else. But
Yep.
like this one guy's like the world. The crossword puzzles were so fucking
Yeah.
sick.
They were
That's
fucking
like the
sick.
other thing. Is like on top of it all, on top of writing a really good script, they also had to write a bunch of really interesting crossword puzzles.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's it called again?
The riddle of the Sphinx.
The riddle of. Oh yeah,
Okay, and all the fucking setups pay off like fucking perfectly.
yeah. Every single setup pays off.
Yep.
Um, they even mentioned Chekhov's gun in the episode.
Yeah. And
Uh,
that's fucking fantastic.
yeah, there's a bunch of twists and turns, and it's all like real shit. Like it's not like dumb movie shit. Like it's all real shit.
I mean,
There's some dumb movie shit,
yeah.
but like the all of the dumb movie shit backfires, whereas all the real shit doesn't. What's great about it.
That's true.
The only thing I'm not sure about is like when the guy doesn't really care about the girl, and then suddenly he's like, "Oh, turns out it's your illegitimate daughter." Oh, I must rush to her side and I care about her now. I don't think that's how. Like, is that how it works?
I mean, I guess for some people, maybe.
I suppose so. Yeah, and he's like single and lonely. It's
Yeah.
implied, so like, yeah, I suppose it makes sense.
Yeah.
He's just such a cool character.
He's a very cool
Making
character.
making that epic crossword. To, like he's the fucking Joker, but epic. He's the Riddler.
Like the fucking set pieces in the episode are fucking great too.
Yeah,
Okay, Empty Orchestra.
that's the karaoke one, right?
I think the gimmick for that one was really good, but it wasn't like strong otherwise.
Yeah,
Like the character dynamics were good, the gimmick
it
was
doesn't
good.
necessarily have a twist.
Yeah.
I don't think this episode really has a twist. Like,
It doesn't really. I mean,
I suppose
the twist is that the
the deaf
guy.
girl,
No, oh?
the deaf girl tells the other girl that her boyfriend's cheating on him. Her.
No. The twist is that the guy fires himself.
Oh,
Okay.
is that the twist?
I mean, that was a twist to me.
If we have to argue about what, see, like,
Yeah.
I always thought that he wasn't gonna like. It seems like if it's set up that he's gonna fire one of the characters, there's no character that would be satisfying for him to fire. So there's gonna be something involving that.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, there's good roasty hate in this episode. Like it really sets up the roasties to be the bad guys in this episode.
As is in real life.
Yeah. Um. Obviously, there's good man hate as well. All the men are just assholes.
Yep.
Except, no, they're all assholes.
Yep.
I think this is the first black guy in the whole show.
Is it the first? I don't think it's the first black guy.
What other episode has a black person in it? There's a black woman in Cold Comfort, but a black guy.
Oh. Yeah, I think
No.
there just isn't.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is the first black man in the show, and he's dressed as Michael Jackson.
There's a fake out where like, oh, is he a drug dealer? And then he just isn't.
That was funny though.
That was
when
funny.
I saw him do the like the pill roulette or whatever.
I was just like, that's fucking retarded. And then the show was like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
fucking retarded.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, where would you put it?
I'd put it below Thunderstad, I guess.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was gonna put it.
Yeah.
Well, what the fuck? How do we have the same opinions?
I don't fucking know. We're just the same person, I guess.
What's it called? Something orchestra?
Empty
Silent
orchestra.
Empty orchestra.
Yeah, I really like the difficult character moments throughout the entire episode.
Yeah, she was great.
She was really endearing.
And she wins in the end, which is quite nice, satisfying character arc.
Like, usually at the beginning at the end would be like a fucking downside, but like this specific character was just very endearing.
Yeah.
Yep. Diddle Diddle Dumpling. I think you like this one more than I do.
Which one's that one?
The shoe one.
Oh, I love this episode.
Yeah.
This is like maybe second favorite.
I'd put it above Cold Comfort. Like, to me, it's not as good as the 12 Days of Christine, to me.
I just really liked like watching his downfall and like his downward spiral. But no, I think you're right that it's not as good as the 12 Days of Christine. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. This episode, a guy gets really obsessed with a fucking shoe. That's the episode. It's great.
Diddle diddle. What's it called? Diddle diddle
Dumpling, yeah.
dumpling.
I actually really like how the end was ambiguous here.
The end wasn't ambiguous.
Like, the ambiguous part was, did he kill his daughter or not? Like, that was left ambiguous.
Oh, did he kill his daughter?
Yeah.
I didn't think he killed his daughter. I thought he just killed the guy who had the shoe.
I mean, but he said that the fucking two have to be reunited, like, which implies that he might have killed his daughter.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I like that part of it.
Yeah, he probably did kill his daughter.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I remember that happening.
Like, that's one of the situations where, like, ambiguity makes things better.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it was all really well done. I like it's somewhat believable that like his character arc, like he's not just nuts for no reason. Like he has motivation. Like a lot of people just when they're writing a character who's got like serious mental illness, they just make them the Joker insane nuts. But he's like clearly still has obvious motivations and stuff.
Yeah. Like this episode gets fucking way more like convoluted than it was expected, and I really liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a good episode. I like the final twist at the end in the credits where it turns out he's the one that put the shoe there in the first place.
Yeah, that one was. I like that one too.
Yeah, and then he just sort of blanked it from his memory, I guess.
Yep.
And I like there's stuff that is completely that doesn't even pay off, but like in a good way because it's just there to build character. It's not just like everything has to be serving the story, moving the pace forward. Like for example, the implication that his what his wife and the guy that they invite over like kind of want to be cheating with each other but can't do it.
Wait, is that implied?
Yeah, he holds her hand and she's like, no, I can't.
Oh. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she. I feel like she just that's like all the acting in that episode is really good. Like she does a great job acting like the character of someone who would be exasperated in that situation.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, it's just a good exploration of like obsession and mental illness and stuff like that, loss.
Yeah. Next episode, Private View.
I want to know what your thoughts were on this one.
I really liked everything about it, but I didn't like anything about it.
That's pretty much. I was gonna say like I don't know what my opinion is.
Like it was just.
It was simultaneously good and bad, but it's not like it had some good bits and some bad bits. Every part of it was both good and bad at the same time.
Yeah. Like it was just fucking. Like it was really fast, but also really slow.
Yeah, it was like too rushed, but also like bloated.
Yeah.
And the ending literally didn't make any sense.
I mean, the joke was that the ending didn't make any sense. Oh no! The woman fucking started masquerading as a guy. I think that was the ending.
No, that's not the ending.
Isn't that?
Doesn't make any sense.
No,
she looks nothing like it. No, the ending is that the guy somehow overpowered the woman and then
Wait,
killed her instead, chopped out her organs, and then positioned himself as the world's greatest artist, and then became successful.
really?
Yes, because it's him. It's the same. Like it's the same guy.
Like I thought that like since he cut from the woman to the thing, I thought that she had just costumed herself as a guy.
But well, it was the same. It was the same actor as the guy.
Oh. Uh, I don't fucking know what I think about this episode.
It's a bit nonsensical.
But
It kind of feels like an episode of Sherlock with the middle cut out.
yeah.
It feels like season 1 episode of Sherlock with the middle, like the entire middle 20 minutes cut out of it.
Yeah.
It's like a mystery. It's like a murder mystery where there is no mystery.
I mean, I guess that's a commentary of the show. It's like today's murder mysteries love murder more than they love the mystery.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I don't fucking know. About science time.
None of the deaths are that interesting.
I mean, the first death was cool.
The first death is cool, but none of the other deaths are that interesting. So you don't get like interesting. Like it's not a slasher. Like it
Yeah.
kind of feels like a slasher, but it's not a
Yeah.
slasher.
It's just it's cool but pointless, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a. I don't think I've ever seen anything that gave me that emotion. It's like it's good but bad at the same time.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know. None of the characters' motivations make any sense. All of the characters are complete over-the-top stereotypes.
Yeah, but there's stereotypes of things that don't have stereotypes.
They have they have stereotypes that like
I mean, like,
pretentious critic, the like Z-list celebrity who thinks she's really famous.
yeah, but like they're like really fucking obscure stereotypes, like the thing like
Like the health and safety inspector guy who's really interested health
Yeah.
and safety stereotype.
it's just a generic health and safety inspector.
Yeah, they're very strange stereotypes. And at the end of it, the villain's motivations didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like I think
It
the
was
idea
funny
is
too.
that her motivations aren't supposed to make sense because she's just nuts, and it's kind of funny that she doesn't really care about her motivations making sense. But it wasn't really that funny, and it wasn't very satisfying.
Yeah. I think my dog needs to go outside. Okay, so I'm gonna pause after I fucking say this point. Like, I really like the dramatic irony of the vape guy, which is like, oh, this guy had his lungs and then he kept vaping, and it's like he's vaping, he's actually smoking. I think that was a neat part.
It wasn't smoking though.
Yeah, I know. I think that was a neat part that it wasn't smoking. Yeah. Because
That's
like,
not dramatic irony. That's just a weird writing decision.
no. Like the dramatic irony is the fact that he gets killed for smoking, but he wasn't smoking. He was vaping.
That's not dramatic irony.
Is it? Isn't?
Dramatic irony is when the audience knows something the characters don't.
No, but the character. I think the character just didn't understand. Wait, I don't know. That was my interpretation. Like my interpretation was the character was like, oh, he's fucking smoking himself to death, but it's just like, oh, he's just vaping. To me, that was neat.
Yeah, but that's not dramatic irony. That's a different thing.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of an example of dramatic irony to give as an example. But I can't.
But yeah.
Google will help me.
I need to go let my dog outside. Do you wanna ramble for
Okay,
like
go.
5 minutes, or should I pause it?
How long will you be?
Like 5 minutes.
I can ramble for 5 minutes.
Okay. So see ya.
Oh fuck! I signed myself up for something I wasn't ready for. Here I am. Rambling. So dramatic. Okay. Romeo and Juliet. There we go. That's a good example of dramatic irony. The audience knows that Juliet is only asleep and not dead, but Romeo doesn't know that and he kills himself. There we go. That's dramatic irony. See, I went to English lessons in school. What am I going to ramble about? Recently, I've been recording Denpa vlogs, but just on my phone and with no intent to post them. And I think it's equally satisfying. So I think I might just never make a YouTube video again because it's equally satisfying to just say the ideas out loud into my phone um, without posting them. Like, there's not really any need for me to go through all the trouble of posting and editing all this stuff when I could just record it on my phone and then not post it and then delete it in a few months or whatever. Um, I'm not sure what the fuck I'm gonna do with my YouTube channel. What else is recently going on in my life? I've been trying to lose weight. I've been going on walks, but my ankles are in too much pain. I would easily be able to walk for much longer, I think, but my ankles become um, like too painful to continue walking. Most likely because I have flat feet. I have very weak arches in my feet. That's why it's my theory, at least. That's why my ankles are hurting when I go on walks. So I've bought some nicer walking shoes and some like insoles that go in the shoes to help if you have weak arches. And I'm gonna go to the doctors. Maybe I'll get referred to do some physio of some kind. Hopefully, and then I can start going on longer walks, listening to podcasts. That'll be nice and enjoyable for me, and burn some calories, I suppose. I think I'm like 3 kilos. I think if I gain 3 more kilos, I'm officially overweight. So that's why I'm desperately trying to lose weight, although it's very difficult losing weight. Um, Going on walks is not as hard as I thought it would be because I just get to listen to podcasts, and that's quite nice. Um, if you have any good podcast recommendations, please comment them below because um, it's I don't know which ones are good. I haven't really had to look for good podcasts before. I was like the only podcasts I know are the PCP, which I'm obviously not going to listen to anymore. PCP, 99% Invisible, which I thought was good. Like I remember listening to some of it before and thinking it was really good, but that was the podcast I listened to today on my walk, and it wasn't very interesting or good at all. I mean, it was all right, but it wasn't that great. So I don't know. Maybe the older episodes are good. Maybe I should go back to some of the older episodes, and maybe they're the better ones, and they've sort of run out of ideas. But yeah, I thought I remembered 99% Invisible being really good, but it isn't that. It wasn't. At least the 2 episodes I listened to today weren't that good. But also, they're not long enough. They're only 30 minutes, whereas I need it to be an hour at least. The Hermetics podcast, which is what I've been listening to the last few times, except today. That's a really great podcast. Definitely recommend Hermetics podcast on YouTube. It's about like obscure philosophy stuff. Like normally, this guy he just gets a guest on each week who's a specialist in some particular weird esoteric area of philosophy, politics, these sorts of things, and they just discuss their ideas. Normally it's like, oh, I wrote this book, and here's what my book is about, and that podcast's really good. What else? Oh yeah, the other podcast I know about is Radio Lab, but recently Radio Lab's been kind of bad. Like it's been way too much, just like lib shit American politics, like really boring stuff. I tried to listen to one of their politics episodes before. One of them was about jury nullification, and like a big chunk of the episode was devoted to the presenters being just like absolutely shocked and like terrified that this guy said that he'd be willing to, fight with violent means to preserve the right to jury nullification, and they're just like, "Oh my god, I can't believe he said that," because he said like, basically one of them was like, "What if the police show up to try and stop you?" And he was like, "Well, I've got a gun, I'll go down fighting," and then they were just like, "Oh my god," freaking the fuck out, like, what the fuck? You can't say that. You can't violently defend ideas that you care a lot about. Obviously, nothing actually happened. He just got peacefully moved on by the police. So, but like the idea that even someone would conceptually be willing to, um, violently defend their beliefs is just something absurd to these PBS liberals. So they were very confused by that. Uh, even though I'm pretty sure they agreed that their point was that jury nullification is good, but I guess it's not that good. It's a very strange episode, but they have some other really good episodes. Like the episode on words is like one of my favorite podcasts of all time. But
Hello.
oh, welcome back.
Yeah. I'm sorry that took 7 minutes.
Oh wow, I talked for 7 minutes. That was easy.
Yeah, almost like we just constantly do that. Yeah.
Alright, next episode.
Oh, are we doing multiple episodes?
What?
What?
Next episode of the
Oh,
Inside Number 9.
sorry, I've been having a bit of a time. It's Zanzibar. That's the next episode.
Which one's that one again? The hotel
Hotel,
one.
yeah.
That was a really well executed episode.
That was really well executed, but I don't like the concept.
It's a musical. Each line is like a rhyming couplet.
Yeah. Like, I don't like these two guys look the same.
Yeah, but it was suitably absurd that I could believe it.
That's fair. Like, I just don't like misunderstanding comedy.
Yeah, it was a lot of misunderstanding comedy, which was a bit hard to stomach.
Yeah.
I liked all the piss jokes. That was funny.
Yeah, I agree.
I liked that this guy just paid his grandma to piss on him. That was very funny.
Yeah. That was really funny.
Oh yeah, an example of dramatic irony would be Romeo and Juliet, when the audience knows that Juliet is just asleep, but Romeo thinks she's dead, and so he kills himself. That's dramatic irony.
Yeah, what I meant was like the fucking audience knows that he's just fucking vaping, right? And presumably it isn't gonna kill you as quickly as
No, but
smoking.
she knows he's just vaping as well.
No, but like she goes like, oh, this guy keeps smoking. I don't know, maybe she,
I don't think it's dramatic irony. Anyway, Zanzibar.
No, but where do we rank Pirate View?
design...
Where do we rank Private View?
Oh, did we not rank it?
We didn't
I
rank
thought
it.
we ranked it.
No, we didn't rank it.
Fuck.
I put it above Saints.
I put it below Seance. Private. I might even put it below A Quiet Night In, actually.
I can see it actually.
Because I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think this is more like this rating chart is more of a case of like shows how good the average episode is rather than like everything below the middle is bad. It's more like yeah.
I would only say that the bottom two are bad.
Like the bottom 3 are bad in my opinion.
I think Class Cusp is like just whatever.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, Zanzibar. The things I really liked were the set design and like the costume design.
Yeah, same.
I liked the main like the bull boy. What's his name? Not bull boy.
Bellboy.
Bellboy.
Yeah, that was a fucking great character.
He was a great character.
Yeah.
And the Maido-san.
Yeah, Maido-san was also great.
Maido, cute.
Yeah.
I like the hypnotist guy. He was funny.
Mhm.
And the rest of the characters were. Oh, and the guy who just wants to kill himself. But, like everyone keeps interrupting him. That was quite funny.
Yeah, that was fucking great. It's just the main 4 characters are just kind of annoying.
Yeah, they're just kind of annoying, and it's all misunderstandings-based comedy because 2 characters happen to look exactly the same because they're twins separated at birth or whatever.
Yep.
It's kind of a nothing. It's kind of funny, but
yeah.
yeah, it's quite like the jokes are mostly about how chaotic things get.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mostly didn't care about like the marriage story or
Yep.
anything. I don't know. Where would you put this?
I'd put above Science Time.
Above Seance?
Yeah.
I would put it. Yeah, sure, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
All right, next.
Bernie Clifton's dressing room, another really good one.
This was a really good one.
Yeah. I think this might be my second
I think I
favorite.
second favorite. I think I might put it my second or third favorite as well.
Yeah.
What do you think? Second favorite?
Second favorite. Well, the Simpson.
Above 12 Games of Christine.
Yeah. Like, it has a similar... Like, it has a similar story to the 12 Days of Christine in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like, I think it has more soul.
It's I agree. I agree. It's just great in every way. The characters are.
Yep. The fucking ending.
The ending is just. It will destroy you.
Yep.
Feels ending. Just like it's a great plot because it's like you never think about what happens to those guys, you know? Like what happens to those like 2-bit comedians that never really make it anywhere but were like had 5 minutes of fame back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty classic story of like, one of them became a successful businessman, but he became more serious, and the other one was like poor but still funny, and so you think it's that, but then there's like, oh no, there's layers to this shit.
Yeah, there's... I think we shouldn't let's just not fucking talk about that one.
It's just too much.
Like I think if someone made it an hour and 22 minutes into this fucking video without seeing the show, I think they should just go watch that fucking episode, because like I don't think describing anything about it in words will do it justice, you know.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
Yeah.
Yep, reasonable.
Yep.
Reasonable.
Yep, that was just a fucking masterpiece. I once removed. I think this might be one that I like more than you do.
Which one's this one again?
T1 with the assassin. With the reverse chronology.
Oh, yeah, I like this one, but I don't know if I like it as much as you did.
I think it's my fourth favorite.
Okay, let me get this straight. So, this woman was cheating on her husband.
Yeah.
The husband's wife finds out about it somehow, or suspects it, goes over to her house, records their conversation, plays back snippets of the conversation.
No, the husband was cheating on that woman.
Oh, yeah, sorry. So the husband's cheating. She goes over to the woman's house that the husband is cheating on.
Cheating with,
yeah. Then she records snippets of their conversation, plays it back to the husband to make it seem like they've been caught cheating. To which the husband is like, okay, I'm gonna hire a fucking assassin.
No, he already hired the assassin before.
Oh, he already hired the assassin before?
Yeah.
He already hired the assassin before.
Yeah, the plan was to escape
his wife.
Yeah.
And then escape to the Netherlands or whatever.
Portugal,
that was it. Then, the moving guy appears.
No. The first.
That's later.
The entire fucking story is told in reverse.
Told in reverse. So I'm trying to get the story straight. So then, what happens next? Is the next scene the bath scene?
No, the thing that depends on which bath scene. The woman puts the dad in the bath, tells him that they're gonna be going away, and then the assassin comes in.
Then the assassin comes in.
Yeah.
Then the woman thinks the assassin is a moving guy.
No, this thinks that assassin is a potential buyer. I think maybe. Oh no 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 no.
He's the moving
Yeah.
guy. Because they're packing everything up because they're moving to Portugal.
Mm-hmm.
And he plays along, hijinks ensues for a brief moment until he just shoots her with an epic action guy line.
Yeah, cause he thought that this was like the woman who was being cheated and flipped the house number upside down, so it was house number 9.
Yeah.
So the assassin thinks that she's his target.
I like how we haven't mentioned why the show's called Inside Number 9 yet.
Yeah.
The show's called Inside Number 9 because every episode takes place inside something called Number 9. A house called Number 9, room number 9,
Car number 9.
car number 9,
Yeah.
carriage number 9, etc.
Yep.
So yeah, the house was number 6, but she flipped the 6 to a 9.
Yeah.
So the assassin came to the wrong house and shot the wrong woman, thinking it, accidentally, instead of shooting the wife, shot the woman the husband was cheating with.
Yeah.
Covers it up, goes upstairs, discovers. No, wait, that doesn't happen till later, right?
No, that happens then.
That happens then.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. So then it happens then. He goes upstairs, discovers her senile dad, who thinks he's Andrew Lloyd Webber, which is very funny, but kind of sad as well. There's a running theme of dementia. I wonder if one of the writers' dads had dementia or something, because there's a few characters with dementia.
Yeah.
In the show. But yeah, the dad thinks he's Andrew Lloyd Webber, to which the assassin feeds him rat poison.
Yeah.
In his hot cocoa.
Yeah.
Then, what happens next? He comes downstairs.
The wife was being cheated and comes back and starts talking to the assassin.
Oh yeah, she comes back for some reason. Why does she come back?
I don't know.
We forgot about the moving guy.
No, the moving guy comes after the
No,
wife.
not the moving guy. Sorry, the estate agent.
No, I think
the assassin kills the woman. Then the estate agent, or like the guy from the who's trying to sell the house, thinks the assassin is a potential buyer.
No, the guy comes last, I think.
No, it doesn't come last.
No, he sees all the murders.
What? No, that's not true.
Oh, is that the movie?
He's already dead in the toilet.
Oh, right.
The woman comes last.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah, see, it's really good. It's like fucking Pulp Fiction.
No, the moving guy comes last.
The moving guy comes last. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
The estate agent comes, thinks the assassin is someone who's a potential buyer who's going to be looking around at the house.
Mm-hmm.
Tries to show him the house, but then accidentally discovers the dead body of the cheating lady.
Yeah.
And so the assassin kills him, hides him in the toilet. Then goes upstairs, discovers the senile granddad, gives him rat poison. Then hears like a ring at the doorbell or whatever. Comes downstairs to see the wife.
Yeah, the wife comes in at that point for some reason. This guy's like, oh yeah, I'm her neighbor. I don't know why that happened.
Yeah, I don't know why she comes in.
I mean, it makes sense in the reverse chronology.
Did she come in to flip the...
No, that happened.
There must
way
be some
before.
reason. They're too good at writers to just leave that unexplained. Maybe she went home to get something and came back or something like that.
I don't know why the fuck she came back.
She came back for some reason, whatever. I'm sure there's a reason we're both forgetting. Maybe there isn't and it's badly written, but it makes sense in reverse chronology.
Yeah.
She comes back, meets the assassin guy, who at this point is dressed in like a bright pink bathrobe with a big like kitchen glove on, and she says, "Oh, are you the mystery man that she's been telling me about?" Because apparently the woman has been telling her about her cheating on her own husband. It's very silly. Um, he's like, "Yeah, that's me." But she knows that he's the assassin, right? Assumedly,
Yeah.
but she wants to support the assassin because the assassin's killing the woman that her husband's cheating with. So she presumably wants her dead, and supports the assassin. So I don't know why she comes back, but then I don't remember exactly what happens. What happens next?
The assassin
Before the
plays it
moving
cool,
guy arrives,
then the moving guy comes in.
before that happens, something must happen.
I don't think anything happens before it.
No, okay. Well, then the moving guy comes in, and the woman is like, "Oh," trying to play it off like, "Oh yeah, this is our house, haha, yeah, we're just moving, you know what it is." And then all of the dead bodies get revealed to the moving guy, and then the woman's like, "I can explain."
Yeah, because she kills the assassin.
She kills the assassin with a screwdriver.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
assassin tried to shoot
oh,
him,
because she
but he
borrowed the
outran.
screwdriver.
She borrowed the screwdriver.
That's why she comes back, I think.
That's why she comes back. Okay,
Yeah,
epic. We
yeah,
figured it all out.
yeah,
So yeah, that's the plot in real order, but it's all told in reverse order, which makes it way
yeah.
more interesting.
Yep. Like the scene where all the dead bodies are discovered and she just kills the man. That's like one of the best scenes ever.
Yeah, the first scene you see is a bunch of dead bodies in this house, some people acting very strangely, dressed very strangely, and then you slowly have to figure out like what, how did we get in this wacky situation?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very good episode.
Yep.
Where would you put it?
I would put it fourth on this list, below 12 Days of Christine above Diddle Diddle Dumpling.
I would put it below Diddle Diddle Dumpling.
I think that's fair.
Okay. What's it called?
Like, once removed, I really like how it feels almost spontaneous. Like, it almost feels like they just made a boring episode and just was like, oh, what if it was reverse chronology? But obviously that didn't happen. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty epic.
Yeah. Like, it's like, how the fuck did someone write this, you know?
Yeah, I have no idea how you write something like that.
Yeah.
How do you even start?
No clue. Yeah.
We spent way too long on that one. What's next?
Do you have and to hold the one with the wedding photographer?
Oh, this is a boring episode with the best twist in the entire series.
Yep. That's a fucking great episode.
Amazing episode. The twist is so epic. The first twist, the twist at the end is kind of stupid, but
I like the twist at the end.
it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
Like, it works.
it's whatever.
It fits the episode. It gives it a good conclusion. Comes full circle. Blah blah blah.
Yep. Yeah, that's.
But yeah, the twisted like the end. All that matters in the episode is just the fucking twist in the middle. That's so epic.
Yep.
So you're like, what is this weird relationship drama about? Like, do I care about this? Am I supposed to care about this? And then suddenly it's like, boom!
Yeah, it's like,
he's got a rape slave.
Yeah. He just has a sex slave in the fucking basement.
He just has that the wife doesn't know about.
Yep, for 9 years.
Yeah, a sex slave in the basement for 9 years.
Yep, I'd put below once removed.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, that's why he keeps having pot noodles. That's why he can't get it up when she's trying to have sex with him.
Yep.
That's why he spends all night in the basement and stuff.
Yep.
It's so epic.
Very epic.
Where would you put it?
Below once removed.
Below, yeah, I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
To have and to hold.
Yep.
Next episode.
And the winner is the one with the Oscars gimmick.
This is the one with the member of the public turns out to be the actress, right?
Yep.
I didn't like this episode very much.
Yes, yeah. I
Also, fun fact, you know the black guy in this episode?
Mm-hmm.
Just yesterday, he got Me Too'd. Like 20 women came out and said that he groped them or something.
Damn.
Yeah, just yesterday.
Damn. I like the dynamic where the black guy agrees with this seemingly racist old white guy. I think that's...
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Um,
Because it's all the white people who are like, oh yeah, the black actress. Yeah. And he goes like, no, she kind of sucked.
Yeah. I like the...
I like fuck whitey.
Yeah, that was good. I also liked the moment when the like critic, the journalist, like realizes that she's just, her entire life is just useless and she's so no purpose. She just has like a bit of a crisis.
Yeah.
That was quite funny.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the twist was fucking stupid.
Yeah, it was better when she was just like it was better when the twist seemed to be like, oh, all these people discriminate against her, but they're the real retards.
I mean, I knew that she was going to be involved in the twist in some way, but I thought she'd be involved in a more interesting twist.
Yeah.
It's an actress in disguise.
Yep. I'd put it above the trial of Elizabeth Cage.
Yeah, I think that's a fair place to put it.
Yeah.
What's it called?
And the winner is...
And the winner is... Next.
Tempting Fate, the one with the wish thing, the wish rabbit, I think.
Oh, I liked this episode.
And that was a good episode.
I didn't love it, but I liked it.
Yeah.
I think I'd put it above Tom and Jerry.
I'd put it... Yeah, I think that's a fair place for it.
Maybe not. Do you have any other opinions?
I'd put it above Empty Orchestra.
Yeah, I said, okay, yeah, that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an interesting points to it where it's like, oh, but how did he put it in the safe if he was dead? That was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
The ending was kind of epic.
Yep.
The ending was based in epic.
I like the ambiguity of it all until then too.
Yeah, it's a classic monkey's paw type of story, but it's like a self-aware monkey's paw.
Yeah, but you don't ever know if it's actually working until then. It's like, because it's like just ambiguous enough that you might.
Well, no, I assumed it was working the whole time.
I mean, I assumed it was working, but like I was like, oh, is the twist that it wasn't ever working? It was a setup, but you know.
What's it called again?
Tempting Fate.
Tempting Fate. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. You're like doubting a little bit.
Yeah.
I just like the idea of like having to like this job where people are like exploring this hoarder, and how, oh, this was all actually set up by that one guy because he wanted to pay for his son's treatment or whatever.
Yeah.
I liked the guy where I thought there was a missed opportunity for a good joke, but it might have been too subtle. Where the guy's like, "Oh yeah, I have a PhD or whatever. I have a degree in what was it, like anthropology and social science or something like that."
Yeah.
And then the girl's like, "Really? Well then, why are you doing this job?" Like he should have said, "Because I have a degree in anthropology." Like,
yeah.
But that's a funny joke about how, you know, it's useful to have his character around to explain things. He's a cool guy. He's funny. He's the only reasonable one there, of course.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else to say?
Nope, just a good episode.
Next.
The referee is a wanker.
Amazing episode.
Yep.
I'm gonna put this. I would put this above 12 Days of Christine.
Yeah, I think I agree.
Yeah.
It's one of the really good ones.
Yeah. And it's also fucking hilarious.
We already talked about this, so I don't know if we have to talk about it again.
Did we talk?
Like
about it.
now
We didn't.
we talked about it like in DMs.
Yeah, but this is a recording for other people, don't
Yeah,
like
but
they.
other people can just go watch the fucking episode.
We can have a brief discussion
Yeah,
about
we
it.
can have a brief discussion about it.
Um,
I like how fucking intricate the entire fucking
yeah,
twist
it's
is.
so intricate, and like I like how all of the characters are set up at the beginning, and then by the end of the episode, they all turn out to be like it's not who they were set up to be. Basically,
Yeah.
like something about their personality was hidden from the beginning, and it
Like,
turns out,
yeah.
yeah,
Like, I like how the episode is like so fucking intricate that you can't even understand exactly how intricate it was. Because like the assumption is that everything was planned, right? The guy got into a relationship with a football player to have a plausible motivation. He set up the scam that got the guy to make the bad call, which would allow him to make the bad call with other referee support, right? He fucking just made an obviously really bad call to get the fucking points docked. He spent his entire life becoming a respected fucking
yeah.
referee.
But like, how did he get into the situation where on his last game he could make his team lose, and or like he
Yeah.
could make his team lose, and that would make his team win?
I mean, no. The two teams play like his team
Yeah,
wasn't
I know,
playing.
I know.
Like he just got the fucking two teams disqualified, so a random team could fucking win.
And the thing that's so interesting about it is that it's like almost accurate in like because it's implied that they're in the Champions League, which is the league, or I don't know if they're supposed to be in Champions or one of the lower leagues below that, but like not they're not in the Premier League, right? They're not in the top league in the UK. They're in one of the lower leagues, and they're trying to, you know, the team that the home team is trying to, you know, go on to the next. If you win the league, you go to the next up to the next league, right? But so they're ready to like trying to win this game to go up to the next league, whereas the team they're playing against is like in territory where if they lose they'll get relegated to the lower league, and so it's like already an important game.
Yeah.
But like what I mean is that people who are really in like 99.9% of football fans in the UK just watch the Premier League. Like they don't give a shit about any of the lower leagues. But the people who are into the lower, like they're really local teams for these lower leagues, they're really fucking into it. Like that's all they care about in life. So that was a really nice, you know, like it's semi-realistic that people would go that far for their team.
Yeah. The fucking expression of joy at the end of the episode.
The expression of joy, it's just the best bit of acting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You should really watch. This is another episode that you should really watch.
Yep.
Okay, next episode.
Death be not proud. That's the fucking you crank that soldier. But...
Yo, this is the episode where out of nowhere they just crank that soldier guy in the middle of the episode. They just fucking.
They just spent 20 minutes cranking that soldier boy. They just do the dance. It's so fucking out of left field. It's just like, yeah, my mom used to like to have fun.
It just comes out of nowhere. It comes out absolutely nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like a Family Guy cutaway gag, just in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the autism in this episode.
I liked how absurd all of it just was.
Yeah, it was very funny.
Yeah.
I like the positive autism representation. Guys are just like, yes, here you are. You two can get an Aspie waifu.
Yeah.
Who's really into serial killers.
Yeah, I like that too.
The only thing that's questionable about this episode is, you know, the main couple that moving into the house.
Yeah.
Let's move on from that. So,
yep.
Yeah, there was some funny things in this episode. I like the mom jerking him off. That was funny.
Yeah. I didn't like the
Uh,
twist that much, but whatever.
the twist was boring.
Yep.
Yeah, this is an average episode.
I'd
I think
put it above sardines.
I'd put it lower than that.
Where would you put it?
I don't think it was as good as the understudy or sardines or tempting fate or. I put it like maybe maybe above or below the Devil of Christmas.
Damn. I don't know if I agree with that.
Maybe above Private Viewing.
I think it's very demonstrably better than at least Zanzibar to me.
I know it was better than Zanzibar. Oh, I suppose it. I don't think it was better than Tom and Jerry though.
I think that's a fair assessment.
So above Zanzibar.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, like nothing about it really stood out, but I think it just really appeals to my.
Except for the one thing that really stood out, which is that they just cranked that soldier boy in the middle of the episode.
Yep.
What's it called again?
Loves great. Deaf be not proud. That's the one. Loves great adventure.
Definitely not proud.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else to say about Death Be Not Proud?
I like the ghost. The ghost was cool.
I didn't.
Yeah. I can understand that. I don't think that the ghost was cute. I just like the ghost.
Okay, next.
Loves Great Adventure. That's a Christmas special. I thought that wasn't bad.
Oh, that's the one where the guy steals money, right?
Yep.
I didn't understand the twist.
The twist was that everything happened on the 9th day, and that was just left out of the show. And if you were paying attention, you noticed it. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't notice it.
Wait, what happened on the 9th day?
They skipped the 9th day, and
I noticed that bit.
and then
But,
they
like, what
reveal. Oh, that was when the guy came in and.
That was
stole
when the
money.
guys came and stole the money.
That was a twist, I think.
Oh, that wasn't much of a twist.
It wasn't much of a twist, yeah.
Okay, but I liked the family dynamic and stuff.
I didn't really like the family dynamic that much. Like,
I like the idea of like a poor family making the most out of Christmas and stuff.
Yeah, but there's just incest for some reason.
There's not incest.
Yeah, the brother and the sister are the parents of the grandchild.
What? No, they're not.
Yeah, they are. Aren't they?
What? No, I don't think so.
I thought they were.
The brother and the what?
Because the brother was the father of the grandchild.
Yeah, but I think it's because I think the idea is that he got teen pregnant. He got some girl pregnant, and then she. That's what I thought it was, at least.
Oh, I just assumed it was incest, and it just wasn't mentioned.
Of course, you assumed it was incest.
No, because it was set up like the daughter was the mom.
So the kid never calls her mom.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. More fine than I thought it was. Then.
Yeah, I like the dad-son relationships, like, pretty good. Like.
Yeah.
It was a bit. I thought it was a pretty good, like, relatively straightforward family drama.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the parts that take away from it the most were like the inside number 90 parts, where it was like, oh, he's gotten in with some bad guys and he owes them money, and they're gonna come to the door and they're gonna attack them.
Yeah.
That was kind of felt like it was just shoved in there to have intrigue.
Yep. I'd put above A Quiet Night then.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yep.
What's it called?
Love's Great Adventure.
Love's Great Adventure.
Okay, the next one is a good one. It's Misdirection. That's a magic
this is
one.
a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah, although I'm sorry to ruin your suspension of disbelief, but those pens are really shit.
Yeah, of course.
They don't work very well.
I
They
mean,
they don't work nearly as well as they do at the show.
of course, it's fucking shit in real life. It was cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yep.
I like the name a chair raising experience because that is exactly how people name magic tricks.
Yeah.
That is such an accurate way that someone would name a magic trick. I'm kind of mad that they didn't reveal how the trick was done.
I mean, because the point of the trick is that it can't be done. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
and there's some sort of like there's a thing in the trick, right? That is like patentable. Is that's it, right? Like that's the whole thing. What does he call it? Do you remember? Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the mount something.
Yeah. I like when people put false details in maps. I assumed that was like the tapping your feet or the putting the sheet over your head or something.
Yeah. Like
But
it.
like that didn't pay off really.
Yeah. I mean that was a misdirection.
Oh, I suppose it was a misdirection
Yeah. They get
because
the card open.
he just killed someone.
Yep.
He just framed him for murder. Easy game.
Yep. Like it was all set up to just frame him for murder.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good episode.
Yep.
Magic.
I'd put the bob once removed, I think.
You put it above once removed, really?
Yeah.
I'd put it below to have and to hold.
I think that makes sense. I'd put it in one of the top tier ones, basically.
Yeah. Misdirection.
Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty epic.
Thinking out loud.
It's nice. It's it's like you get to see someone get their comeuppance type of
Yep.
situation.
Thinking out loud was shit. The twist around it.
Which one's that one?
The one with the webcams.
The one with the webcams.
Yeah, where the murder.
Oh, the multiple personality sort of one.
That one fucking sucked.
What do you mean? Wait, can you? I mean,
The twist fucking ruined it. The twist just fucking ruined the entire thing for me.
The twist that they're all in the same body, or what?
Yeah. That was just, there was just an exposition dump that was like, oh, everything you just saw was fucking lame. It's like,
yeah, that was yeah. That's
Yeah.
always kind of a lame twist.
Yeah. Like multiple personality disorder just isn't interesting anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it just made the entire thing really fucking corny.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a terrible episode though.
I mean, I enjoyed it until the twist.
Yeah, I liked the YouTuber girl. Like, clearly this guy, whoever wrote this, has a daughter who watches that type of YouTuber, or they did their research.
Yeah.
Like, that was pretty spot on.
That was really spot on.
And I like the idea of like the serial killer forcing the YouTuber to do stuff.
Yeah.
Just all of that is rendered completely obsolete by the stupid twists.
Yep. God, the twist is so fucking stupid.
I hate twists like that.
It's so fucking. It just makes all the characters like, oh, here are all the characters with like sincere and cool personalities. Oops, they're just coping mechanisms. So, I don't know. I just hate this episode.
Yeah.
I'd put it below Nana's party, honestly.
Yeah, that's fair. Just because of the disappointment.
Yep.
What's it called?
Thinking out loud.
Thinking out loud. Okay. Next.
Is the stakeout. That's a cool pun. That's a cool pun.
Oh! I just got it.
Same.
Yeah,
that one was alright.
It was fun. It
Yep.
wasn't like amazing, mind blowing, but it was fun. I'd put it maybe below sardines.
I'd put it at least below Empty Orchestra.
But that's pretty low.
I think. I think
I suppose it's not that low.
Yeah, just a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Put the stake out. I did like how things were set up, but I
Yeah.
didn't like how they were set up too well, and the only way for them to reveal the setup was to just have the character basically turn to the camera and explain, this is all the things we set up.
Yep. Yeah. I really like the fucking like how I only occasionally eat meat part. That was really fucking nice.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. Like once a month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was good.
Yep.
Um, yeah, pretty much.
Yep. That's the show. It's a good show.
That's the show. So, from worst to best, The Harrowing is the worst episode.
Yep.
Then Thinking Out Loud, Nana's Party, Last Gasp, Trial of Elizabeth Gage, and the winner is Devil of Christmas, Private Viewing, A Quiet Night In, Love's Great Adventure, The Seance, Zanzibar, Death Be Not Proud, Tom and Jerry, The Stakeout, Empty Orchestra, Tempting Fate, The Understudy, Sardines, The Bill, La Couchette, Cold Comfort, Misdirection, To Have and to Hold, Once Removed, Diddle Diddle Dumpling, 12 Days of Christine, Referee's a Wanker, Bernie Clifton's Dressing Room, and The Riddle of the Sphinx, #1.
Okay.
Go watch Inside Out. It's a good show.
Also, I'm gonna put everything in a tier because I saw tiers emerging. So I wanna put everything in a tier and see if you agree with me.
Right, I'm gonna go to the toilet, then I'll be right
I
back.
I So we find ourselves alone once again in captivity. Oh, I need to resize the window. In the middle of the episode, you might have noticed how no thank yous volume went up and down. And that was because I was fiddling around with the volume. I don't know if you noticed it. But I was like, oh, the volume was slightly too low, and I put it way too high. So I had to adjust it again until it sounded about right. So that happened. Oh, Jesus, this is a 2 hour long video. I haven't played RuneScape for 2 entire hours now. Yep. So I hope you enjoyed this experience. I have no fucking clue what this was, honestly. I don't know if you're gonna put it on my channel or the Capsec channel. I mean, you already know, you saw it where it was put up. Yep. So yeah. It's time to go to sleep soon. I had a pretty rough day. Yep. I actually really liked the #9 gimmick in Insane #9. Like, I think it was really well executed because it was kind of subtle from the start. And it gave everything cohesion. And I really like iterating upon like the same concept as like a general thing. Like that's why that's a big reason why I can get real autistic about like Marvel movies, because they like their characters who change costumes slightly between movies, and that's like really easy for me to get autistic about. So the fact that every time they had like a slightly different #9, that was cool. When's season 6 coming out for Inside #9? I wanna know when that's coming out. Oh, it's apparently coming out very soon. It's coming out on the 10th of May, which is basically in a week. That's neat. That's it. So yeah.
I'm back. What did I miss?
Nothing. Okay, so here are the tiers. Here are tiers. S tier is the riddle of the Sphinx, the 12 Days of Christine. That's S tier.
Not the referee's a wanker.
The referees of Anchor is in there. It's the 4 top ones.
What?
Test tier is the Riddle of the Sphinx, Burn Clifton's dressing room, the referees of Wanking, and the 12 Days of
You
Christine.
said the Riddle of the Sphinx 2. 12
Yeah.
Days of Christine.
Yeah,
Okay,
all the ones
I
between
agree.
those. All the ones
Oh,
between
okay,
those.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
I understand. So,
Yeah, that's S tier.
yeah, I agree.
8 tier is from Dear Little Tumbling to the Understudy.
Yeah, agree.
B tier is Tempting Fate to Deaf Be Not Proud.
Sure.
This is relative to the show, right?
Yeah.
C tier is Zanzibar to A Quiet Night In.
Yeah.
D tier is Private View to the Trial of Elizabeth Catch.
Yeah.
And Lost Cause to the Herring is F tier.
Shit tier. Yeah,
Yep.
I agree.
Yep.
Pretty damn good for a show to only have 4 bad episodes.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So overall, would you recommend this show?
Of course.
I'm glad I told you about it.
Yeah, thank you for telling me about the show.
There you go. Let's do it. Let's
Yep.
get everyone to watch the show. Go watch the show, guys. It's good.
Should I post it on Toadsmite and Crabsack, this podcast?
Sure. What do you think?
I think it appeals to the Crabstack audience.
I think it appeals to the Crabstack audience as well.
Yeah. I guess this is a Crabstack fucking surprise every other Crabstack nigga. It's a fucking episode.
We should do that. We should just post it on
Crabstack. This kind of Crabstack.
Epic.
I must stop recording.